Welcome.
So, we're recording instead of going live.
Yeah, we did things a little different this week.
We're not getting enough views to go live yet.
Hmm?
We're not getting enough views.
Yeah, it's we don't have the fan base to go live. It's going to be a little bit better. We can record our videos, edit them, and make them a little better.
So anything offensive we can say, we can take out.
Yeah, put little bleepers in there.
Can we do that?
Probably.
I think it's funny when you put bleepers in there.
And there's ways, and you probably figure it out. Can't be that hard.
Fuck, there's your first one.
So what's new in Trevor's world?
A lot.
A lot.
Yes, a lot. I don't want to talk about it though.
Okay.
I don't want people knowing where I am. Like the cops sitting in front of my house.
Well, there's the helicopter there. Well,
Alright.
there was a terrorist attack on on Hill. There was a
Where was
lady,
that?
it was in the House of Commons, where Justin Trudeau had taken an RPG and shot a girl in the chest with it.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. A lot of sarcasm there. Don't take that legitly. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. Because that shit is so funny. So, pretty much what happened was that I'm not really a political person. I'm not sure what was happening. One of his guys were being blocked by the other parties, and he was trying to get through, and he couldn't. So Trudeau came down and, kind of like forced his way through the other people. Had his back totally turned to this woman. If you watch it, he doesn't even acknowledge she is there. She might as well have been a fucking fly in the room because she just did not exist at that point in time.
Yeah.
And he accidentally hit her, grabbed his man, and pulled him through. And everybody on his side saw that, and they started clapping for him, applauding. And so, as soon as she realized who it was, she acted like she just got shot, raped, and pillaged, beaten, all that shit. Yeah.
They lit her on fire.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think it's dumb. I think it's hilarious that it happened, but I don't think she needed to react the way she did. It's like she got shot in the chest.
It was so bad.
I can understand if Justin Trudeau came out with a .357 and shot her in the chest. Yeah, that's the way to react. But
it's funny. She said she went out of the room, and she said she was very distraught, and she missed the voting. I guess I forget what the whole thing was.
She let her party down. She missed the vote.
She missed a voting, and she said she was very distraught and upset, and she had to step out. And I'm guessing those votings take quite a while to process, so she must have been out of the room for at least anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I can guarantee she probably left the room and probably tweeted that she got elbowed in the chest by the Prime Minister.
Exactly. If it was some Joe Blow,
yeah,
wouldn't have happened.
I don't know if I got.
If it was someone from the own party, wouldn't have happened.
I don't know if I got elbowed in the chest by the Prime Minister. I'd be like, thanks, man, sweet. It was awesome.
I've been blessed.
Yeah, I think it's bull.
And then there was fucking another feminazi that was there trying to stir more shit up. Pretty sure with the NDP because they seem pretty. He's who's the leader of the NDPs?
Something Mouclair.
Is it John Mouclair?
No. I don't know.
I'm not political. Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
pay attention. I don't think it really matters to me.
I don't even know the Conservatives leader now.
But he said something to Trudeau, and then he's like, "You're pathetic."
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my god.
For an accident,
That's so bad.
It's just brutal.
Today's society is so fucking soft.
Yeah, if they can get away with something, they can. I don't know if anything will ever happen with it or not. I don't know if they'll try to sue them for assault and rape and murder and human rights violations and discrimination, assassination. Who knows? But it's stupid. The world's come to the point where they have to do this. Someone's a higher figure than them. They have to do whatever it takes. It looks good too. She probably tried to do it to promote her party too.
It's anything to take down the opposition.
Yeah.
Anything. So it's listen, if women weren't there in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. It's makes me angry.
And if you're offended by that, go fuck yourself. Everyone's offended by something.
Yep. It's we've definitely come to a place in the world where if somebody can do that, then they're gonna take whatever points they can to try and just get the other person screwed over.
I just want to. Did you watch the bit with the woman that she looks like a dyke with glasses? Did you see that part?
No.
Some short looking dyke just going on about how pretty much how he's a man and how he hit a woman.
Yeah, that maybe she just chest bumped his elbow.
Yeah. You touched my boob.
You touched my elbow.
You touched my upper right breast.
Quadrant 4771444 West 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, another thing that happened was I think Tuesday. What? What was it? Egyptian airline went down. You hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh. I mean, you can pull it up if you want, but it's Egypt Air went from France. I'm not sure what city, but came from France and was going to some where was it? Somewhere in the south. Maybe? No, it was going. I don't think it was going to Egypt. It was going somewhere near India, south of India, and it did a sharp left turn and then did a right turn into a 360, and then went off the radar, or plummeted 10,000 feet and then off the radar.
Did they figure out what happened, or it's
No, I don't. I haven't looked at it. They think. I think the states are saying it was a terrorist attack.
That's weird.
So it's at least they find this one.
Yeah,
they have found it.
And the one MH370 they're still looking for?
The Malaysian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think happened with that?
I don't know. All I know is that I'm not taking a flight out there because that's 4 flights in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of flights that's gone down out there since the last.
Yeah, it's a scary area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. That Malaysian one, though, I don't know. It's the thing that makes me wonder is it went off the radar, and then people's cell phones, you could call them after the plane had said to be crashed and disappeared. You could call people's cell phones and they're still working, and the engines send a signal to Rolls-Royce saying the status, if it's on or off or whatever, to Rolls-Royce. They send a ping every hour, every 6 hours, and they were still getting these pings for however many days after. But from my knowledge, it's radio waves, I don't know how well they work underwater. I'm guessing they don't work very well.
The black box works fine underwater.
No, it wasn't the black box though. The engines themselves have a thing inside them that transmit to Rolls-Royce to let them know how the engine's doing. And
then again, the black box is reinforced.
Yeah, the black box only survives so many days underneath the water though.
Yeah, it only survives 7 to 10 days, something like that, or maybe maybe it's 3 days.
I don't know. I know if it crashed somewhere deep though, it probably wouldn't last very long.
It's in the Mariana. What's it called?
Marianas Trench.
Mariana Trench. Yeah. You gotta go all the way down there to retrieve it.
Yeah. But I think it was definitely a terrorist thing. Because
that's what the states are saying.
What are the odds that a plane crashes? If it crashes into the ocean, there's going to be material. And
especially the pattern of the plane, how it did a hard left and then kind of a 360 kind of thing, and went down immediately. That's kind of looks like more about a panic.
Yeah, I mean for the Malaysian one though.
Okay, well,
is that it went so long off the radar, and then who knows how it probably could have went so far. But if it crashed into the ocean, there's going to be debris. No matter if there's current or not, you're going to see debris. And every debris that they found has been another plane crash or something random floating through the ocean. Mm-hmm. It's all the plane's full of jet fuel, full of oils, full of hydraulic fluids. There would be a slick, and then there'd be parts everywhere if it hit the ocean.
Let me tell you, but this is gonna be a really sensitive topic, but everyone agrees for equal rights.
Yeah.
Correct? So most of the people in the first world countries, most of Europe, North America, are for equal rights. But in all of point in time, if there's ever some sort of war, you didn't welcome refugees from the other country, like the citizens or whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't go, okay, those poor people, come stay with us. We're for equal rights and whatever. There was none of that shit. They were put in POW camps.
Yeah.
Now, like with today's world, who are pretty much like the terrorists and the bad guys? Mostly from Middle Eastern.
Yeah, like there's
barbarian camps.
Yeah, like there's ISIS. There's all kinds of different groups over in the Middle East. Like
we could be destroying ourselves from within right now just by welcoming these people. It's a very sensitive topic for doing this. Like it sucks for these people that have to run away from their. That's another thing.
Like the thing that makes me mad is like. Yes and no, I agree with the refugee thing, but when you see people on Facebook who are just like, "Oh, save our homeless before the refugees," the homeless have programs they can get into to help them get back up on their feet.
Yes,
but there's a lot of homeless that don't want to.
No, there is the saying, you gotta help yourself with the assistance from others. There's only so much other people can do for you.
Yeah.
If someone throws you a rope, you gotta hang on to that and
pull yourself up.
Exactly. But it's so tough. Kind of like
look at when the First World War, second. I don't know if it's not really Second World War. When like everyone came over, we were the New World. Everyone came over, and we're like the last best West, which was like this is the last New World we have. Like so, they sent like England and everyone sent like over all the immigrants and stuff like that. And there was like. We had like Germans over here, like Russians, like the Polish, all that stuff here.
You're talking about the early days of settlers.
Yeah.
So like early 1700s.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like immigrants that came over to settle the land.
Yep.
And then World War I happened.
Yep.
And these people didn't want to fight because they're fighting their relatives. Like they're called.
That happened a lot during the First and Second World War. Especially the Second World War, be people that, let's say, were German that were over here that had a long history of bloodline to the at the time fatherland, and they would get the call to go back because it's their family name.
Yeah.
Even though they'd be technically kind of like Americanized.
Yeah.
But a lot of that time that happened, even with the Japanese, like everyone who was American Japanese. At the time of 1942, I think it was 1942, December 7th, that they were attacked in Pearl Harbor. Maybe it was 1940, I forget. But a lot of Japanese were put into prisoner of war camps.
Yeah. But
that's why you see the West is so full of them.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, because they would put them into camps all on the West Coast.
Yeah, I remember learning about it like in history is that you had like all the I think they're called like alien soldiers. Is that because you had a lot of people hiding because they didn't want to go to war with their own country, like with their brothers and sisters that stayed over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are we gonna have if something did happen and we have all these refugees? Is that going to happen again? Like, are we gonna have a lot of people, or will they?
We would self-destruct, again, self-implode.
Would self-implode like
this is what, because we have so many, like this is the age of now where people from like Syria and all that, because of all these crises coming from the Middle East, like there's so much going on over there that people won't defend their own country. Like there wouldn't be any countries today if people didn't stand and fight for like what they believed in their own state.
I think the issue with like Syria and stuff though is that they don't have the infrastructure to do it. Where, like good examples like Ukraine and Russia. Russia was backing rebels to do the military's dirty work at Crimea. In Ukraine, what was happening is Russia was cutting off Ukraine from like power grids and water grids and stuff like that. So Ukraine has a military that it could defend itself. But because it was being cut off, it didn't have the infrastructure to defend it. It had the units, but it didn't have the supply to do it. That's kind of.
And Russia supplied that.
Russia had supplied that, yeah. Same thing with like Syria, like Iraq. Like Iraq has a military, and I guess like Iraq, Afghanistan, like where the states have sent officers over to train their military because they've got the military.
Yep.
But their military is a bunch of farmers who've pushed goats around for 300 years, and like they don't have the battle knowledge to do stuff. That's the issue, is that they're running into a battle blind. Where an advanced country, like if you had Mexico invade the states, actually that's not really. That's not. Yeah, if you had Mexico invade the states, or if we invaded the states invaded us. We have the infrastructure that we need to supply the military, but we also have the military knowledge. Like we have the advancements.
Yep.
Where countries like Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq, they have the military, but they don't have the technology. Like they're using old Russian tanks, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're using Cold War stuff.
Yeah, so it's
AK-47s. That's Cold War.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the issue. Is that the reason why they have to flee is that they don't have the other option. Like they have the option to defend, but they're going to get their ass kicked. They don't want to stay there and have ISIS invade them, have their family get raped and killed. And
yeah. Well, it's creating problems for first world civilizations.
Yeah, like we don't have, like the people aren't educated enough on the situation to understand what's going on. So there's like, oh, just nuke them. Yeah, do you know the consequences of using a nuclear weapon? No. Like,
yeah, it gets rid of them.
Yeah. If you're using a nuclear weapon on them, like, you got to remember how many civilians you have there. Like, if you're using a powerful enough warhead, the amount of fall rate you're going to have, like, there's.
Not to mention the American military bases that are right there. Then again, they would evacuate them, but
yeah, they'd secretly evacuate them before.
Yeah, I guess so.
But you'd have to you'd be. It's kind of like how on Civ, how if you attack a city-state, everyone shuns you immediately. It would be like that. But in World War II, I don't think that really happened because the world was in such a crisis that the states used it, and I was just like, ooh, wow.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
Let us try.
Yeah.
Said Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what?
Russia tried too. They ever heard the Tsar Bomba?
Is that the one with the submarine?
I don't know if it was a submarine, but it was like a nuclear bomb that they tested, and it was like 10 times more powerful. They like cut the amount of like uranium or plutonium they were going to use it in half.
Yeah.
And it was still like 10 times bigger than what they expected it to be. Like it caused like huge amounts. I think they tested it in the Pacific. It caused huge amounts of damage to like islands nearby. The states tested one too. I'm pretty sure it was. And there's still like little islands out.
Yeah, it was out by Hawaii. Yeah, kind of like southwest.
Yeah, like there's still little islands where they had like their test machinery on the islands, and the machinery still like glows in the dark because it's so irradiated from the blast.
Yeah, they had like a lot of battleships that they were left over from like a scrapyard, probably from World War II, that they just left out there and see what would happen. There's a lot of videos on that. There's one video that from the States detonating in the Pacific, and I think that one was a hydrogen. Yeah,
you shaking your leg?
Yeah, I am. Causing
the whole thing to shake. Yeah, it's definitely scary. Like the power that's gone on, especially with North Korea. People don't think like North Korea is that big of a deal right now, but if you think about it, like they've got the technology to use a missile to send like they have a space program, and like they've got a satellite they say works in space. There's no like evidence that it works. They know that it's up there. They know they've done like 6 or 7 tests. Like a bunch of them, like 2 or 3 of them, the satellites like spun out of control. And I think they've got 1 or 2 satellites that are working up there that they say they're using for like global like weather research and like predicting droughts and stuff like that.
Oh, they're trying so hard.
Yeah.
They're trying way too hard.
And
which is scary.
Yeah, like South Korea is in striking distance. Like they claim that their missiles can reach the States, but I think by the time they don't have the advancement for like a stealth bomb or anything like that.
Yeah, that won't happen.
I don't know if it would work or not, but I think like their best bet would be, as crazy as it sounds, hopefully they're not. Kim, plug your ears. Is to like launch a rocket, saying that it's saying that it's a space-oriented thing. Like have like some sort of capsule, and have like a mini warhead inside. Mm-hmm. And then once you get the technology, just shrink your stuff so it's small enough that you can use it like a WMD that's powerful but small. Say have the satellite orbits the Earth, and then have it at a time where it's directly above the States, because the States is going to expect a missile to fly over the ocean or come through the atmosphere by the coast. And I think if you had a missile come straight down, it'd probably be fairly hard to do, I'd imagine. But I think that'd be their best bet. Like, I think right now NORAD would be able to defend us pretty good against a missile. From what I understand, is that like the missile they try to use, I can't remember what it is. They try to use a long range missile. If it doesn't work, they dispatch jets to try and shoot it down. If that doesn't work, they use a land base, like a surface to air missile out of one of the bases, like one in California. There's 2 or 3 on the East Coast, and I think there's one up in Alaska. They use that, and if that doesn't work, then they have to arm Patriot missiles. Like they have to pull the Patriot missiles on the ground.
I just imagine Mount Rushmore. All the faces shoot lasers out of the eyes to deflect missiles.
Yeah, that was like it's. From what I understand, that's kind of how it works. And yeah, I don't know. I think we're fairly safe. But like aircraft-wise, though, if you think about it, like if Russia ever got pissed off, I'm sure Russia has stealth technology. It wouldn't take much for an aircraft to fly over and drop one. Like if you have a stealth aircraft fly over an area that's very remote, there's no radar, or if there is radar, it'd probably be a civilian radar. It wouldn't pick up a stealth technology.
Do you know the Germans were, I think during the early 20th century and coming up to the late 19th century, that they were the most powerful country in all of the world?
Not really.
They were the most well-off economic, and I'm pretty sure with manpower also. Like their dollar was like the best in all of Europe.
They're using the euro.
Yeah,
they use the euro.
At that point in time?
When was this?
Late 19th, early 20th century, before World War One.
Oh,
they fucked themselves
no.
over 2 times.
No.
But they were one of the best civilizations in that point in time. And it's just amazing how just greed and stupidity of politicians can fuck that up. Like they can just look at each other and go, okay, well, we're friends with this country, let's go to war now.
Yeah.
Let's fuck up our economic system and throw our citizens down the tube.
I think in World War II, I think the biggest drive was that Hitler convinced people that, like in the old days of Germania, is they after World War One, I'm pretty sure they lost quite a bit of land, did they not? Back to the
World War One. No, they had to hand over all their navy, all their army, and not much for the Air Force, but you know what they had.
Yeah.
They had to hand over everything. They were completely shunned.
Yeah.
And they had to pay, I think at that time, I think it was a lot of money for that point in time, which is still a lot of money in this day and age.
Yeah.
But it's just at that point in time, it's just a stupid amount of money for what they caused damage.
After World War One, though, all the sub countries that were around Germany, didn't they want to be their own country? In World War Two, they reinvaded it. Austria
has always been its own country, because during the 1800s, that's when a lot of countries went independent, because I think Austria used to be part of Dutchland.
Okay.
And then same.
So maybe it was World War
Same with
maybe I know one of the drives for like World War II or whatever it was is that Hitler wanted to reclaim make Germany great again.
Well, he wanted to make Germany like great again.
Yeah.
Because just like Trump.
Yeah.
What?
I wonder if Trump wanted to be an artist when he was younger.
Oh fuck! Get away while you still can. Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Not mine.
Didn't he just have a? No, what he wanted to do was he felt Germany was embarrassed after the events of World War One, because literally you would have to have a wheelbarrow full of cash just to buy a loaf of bread.
Oh really?
Yeah, people in that point in time were carrying around. Yeah, it was absolutely brutal. People were carrying around wheelbarrows full of money of cash, literal cash. Money was printed out so fast that it was ruining the economy, and that's what ruined that. But now when Hitler came into effect, that's when things I think started to get better.
Yeah.
Now he came around during the early 30s, and that's when he proposed his party.
Yeah.
And that's when at the time Germany was in a conflict between communists. I think Russia influenced communism into Germany and kind of in the 20s and the 30s, but Hitler came into power and said no to that. And he actually got into a firefight where he was shot in one of those conflicts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was between his party and the Communist Party. That's why he hated the Russians so much, because they were communist.
Didn't he ally with them for a while though?
It was more just kind of like a don't touch me and I won't touch you.
Okay.
I don't think there was any trade involved. Any kind of alliance.
Yeah.
I think it was just sort of a mutual friendship without any benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, wars definitely changed over the years.
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't be the same if anything was to happen like World War III.
No, I don't know. I think World War III, but I think a lot of countries would refrain from using nuclear devices.
They wouldn't have to.
No,
we have technology now where there's probably the size of this room, the length, and they're only about maybe this big round, and they shoot them from space through the atmosphere, and they get so much velocity that they hit the ground at the speed of a nuclear bomb, but there's no radiation effects.
Yeah, so it's like a railgun almost.
It's pretty much like a long rod, a long steel rod, and it shoots into the ground. And
I'm pretty sure they're called railguns.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
But they cause so much destruction, just as much as a nuclear bomb, pretty much. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but those things are real, and there's no way to defend from them.
Yeah,
really.
They
come at the speed of I don't know.
You'd probably be going over the speed. You wouldn't be going the speed of light. You'd probably be going pretty fast though. That kind of brings you to the other.
I was gonna say speed of sound, but a little bit faster.
Yeah, subsonic, supersonic. Kind of brings me to the other topic is artificial intelligence now. When are we gonna get?
We go night night.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, now I'm yawning.
Is that AI is an incredible thing. It's almost a scary thing now. And I was reading some stories on a couple of different incidents that have happened. One company had a bunch of artificial robots, and they were programmed to see that there was an area of the room that provided them food, and then there's another area that provided them poison. And when they went to go get, from what I understand, whenever they go get to the food, they'd have a blue light blink on their head when they reached it, so the scientists would know. The AI figured out how to team up and realized that when they saw the blue blinking lights to go over there was food, and then the robots managed to control themselves and turn off the blue blinking light, so the scientists wouldn't know when they were getting food. And what ended up happening is all the robots turned on each other.
Really?
Yeah, and they were tricking each other to show where there's food here when there actually wasn't. They'd guide them to poison and stuff like that to compete for the food. And the other one was it was another company testing their AI. Like they were running, like it had it connected to the to like the internet to collect all these articles of information to like teach itself about like everything that's happened in history. And they had like this, like they had like a program for it to do this, and the AI got to the point where it stopped using the program and generated its own way of developing. Like it taught itself how to develop this information.
So do they just like learn them by themselves, or they give them the option to think?
From certain ones, I think they're kind of like they're trained, like they're programmed. They're programmed. They're programmed so like they're to collect all the information they can on a subject and then figure out, like I said, they're given a task. They figure out all the calculations and how to do the task as fast and efficient as it can and as accurate as it can. That's where they kind of beat it.
So they turned on each other.
Yeah, like in this test, and they turned.
Okay, so I mean, this throws any kind of belief system or like religion out the window, as far as I'm concerned. Like, these things are thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
And they realized shit. Like they started to learn.
Yeah.
They were learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so and they started to turn on. How many were there?
I don't remember.
Okay, so let's say there's like 5.
Yeah.
That's still plenty, right? So they all turned on each other. Okay, so they're made by the same company. They probably all look the same. So you can say like they're the same race or whatever. And they turned on each other. And those are robots that can think for themselves, and that's like as far as intelligent AI as you can get, as far as I'm concerned right now.
Yeah, like there was I don't know if it was Google. I think it was Google who did it. They developed a robot or a computer to play the world's best chess player in chess. I think they played 7 games, and it beat this guy like 6 of the 7 games.
Yeah.
Like the world's best chess player, he like beat it. That.
Did it self-implode when it lost?
No, it's just I guess it just accepted it.
No, okay.
But the thing is, it can realize where it's gone wrong.
Yep.
And it can get better. But I think it was the first game it won, the second game it lost, and then the rest of them it won. So it obviously
that makes sense.
It obviously figured out where it went wrong.
That makes sense.
And obviously it can analyze what the other guy is doing all the time.
It wouldn't make sense if he was to lose the last game.
No.
That's what's scary about AI. If you would ever have to like fight them like Terminator, like all it would take is one battle for them to lose, and then they would
realize we constantly have to change. Have you ever seen the movie? What is it called?
War Games?
No. It's
That's a classic artificial intelligence movie.
It's with Tom Cruise, and it's about like the Earth is invaded by like an alien. And
Top Gun?
Yeah, it is. So the Earth is invaded by these aliens, and there's like these special. They're called alphas, and they have the ability to control time. So every time they would go through a battle, and if they lost the battle, the alpha would die, and the day would start over. So every day they knew what was going to happen every single day, and they could change their battle technique just to.
Oh, it's a recent movie.
Yeah, it's pretty recent news. Yeah, they could change their.
It's like 2013 or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably in there. Yeah. It's
maybe 2014 actually. Time's going by too fast.
Oh, look.
Wait a second.
But yeah, it was an interesting how it worked. Where is it here? And like, what ends up happening is Tom Cruise kills an alpha, so he gets the ability every time he dies to go back to the next day. So it kind of like it gives the humans the edge to.
I thought it was whenever he dies, he goes back.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole entire plot where he just keeps on dying and going back.
Yeah, but he can. That's what helps the human race develop a technique to win. So they have to like destroy this like super duper alien thing. I don't even remember what happens at the end of the movie. And that's
spoilers.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Spoilers. There's an ending to it.
Bugging the shit out of me now. The Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. It is really. If you haven't seen it, it's an awesome movie.
The one movie I really like is Interstellar.
Love that movie.
I love that. Was it you that showed me, or was that Anthony?
You showed it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. That movie makes so much sense.
It does make so much sense, but at the same time, it doesn't. You know what I mean? You know that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like, what?
Yeah, I think the thing that I like about it, for me, is it kind of explains UFOs. Is that in the future, we have figured this out to for someone to stay on this planet, get very ahead in time or whatsoever, and have the technologies. So it's like someone's stayed on that planet, Earth has advanced in time, they've come back, and they have the ability to time travel.
Yeah,
it's nuts. That's the way.
That was good.
I think UFOs are, to a certain degree, they could be us, and it's us having figured out how to time travel, but we're really shitty at hiding ourselves, and it's kind of like we're trying to protect ourselves from what's going on or what could happen.
That wouldn't make any sense for abductions.
What do you mean?
Abducting your own people to take back to the future?
Maybe it's just people are crazy.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It could be.
Well, you thought you were abducted that one night?
I have been abducted.
What happened? You woke up on the floor or something without blankets on? Or?
Yeah, so I fell asleep on...
That was at my place.
Yeah.
The same night that my 11-year-old sister heard humming outside the house, and this is out in the country, so...
Yeah, so what happened is there was 2 couches, and they were in that kind of shape.
Okay, well, if you see this wall right here, okay, you can't even
see the couches were on a 90-degree angle.
Yes, like an L shape.
Yeah, I went to bed on one.
Yeah.
And woke up on the other. Mm-hmm. The blanket, it felt like I hadn't even slept. Woke up on the other one. The blanket's the exact same way when I fell asleep, but I didn't have my pillows with me, and I woke up had scratches on my back. It felt really sick throughout the whole day. And that night at dinner, Victoria was complaining that she couldn't sleep. And I was like, oh, why? She's like, I kept hearing humming throughout the night. I was just like, oh, shit.
That's why I got out here. And I moved out. That's why. I'm in the city now, so all I got to worry about is sketch bags.
Yeah.
With methamphetamine problems.
Yeah. Bald guys. Yeah, and it was a really weird experience that I just it felt like I'd never slept, and it was just really bizarre. And it was messed up. It kind of spooked me. That it actually could have happened. It's paranormal stuff.
Or is it supernatural? It's supernatural. Paranormal is ghosts and spirits. Supernatural is...
I thought paranormal was anything
No, there's a difference between supernatural and paranormal.
Oh.
I forget what the exact...
I don't know, your house, even with paranormal activity, is messed up.
Yeah, I know, we've always had that shit.
I don't know, it's that Bible. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know where it is now. I think it's... Where's that small shelf that always had it?
No idea.
Yeah, well, there's a Bible in our family that's been with us since... it's on my dad's side, so it's been with us ever since. I think it's dating back to the year 17-something. And it's written down. It's quite a few pages back, but it's in there.
So the first... You explain some of the stories you've had with it.
I haven't.
Well, you've been with people who have.
Well, yeah. Well, everyone's had experiences, and my parents' house, that houses, because we moved so many fucking times.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen or felt anything, witnessed.
So I
mean, there was one time where my ex, I was kind of facing the wall, and we were hugging, and we were kind of fighting.
Yeah.
And so she was facing towards down the hallway, which where my bedroom was. This was on Springwood.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was kind of like a little ceiling, right?
Yeah.
You remember those lights that were on the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how like it came to like a dead end, laundry room, and my room. So she said like her face went kind of like, oh my god, like someone's there. And she said she saw someone like just kind of like half and half, just like on like in between the doorway, just below the height of the light, which is maybe 4 foot or we like no like 5 foot.
5 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, around there. So it's like pretty low. And then she said she saw someone with like white hair and like a gown.
Yeah.
And I said that to my dad, and he said that's what his great grandmother looked like.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And she's the one that carried the Bible everywhere with her.
oh, really?
Yeah. So
There could be some residual spirit around that. I've definitely had in your like old house, sitting on the couch watching TV and like sitting like long ways on the couch, and I thought it was you screwing with me. It's like when my hair was longer, I had someone like pull the back of my hair. So I was like, oh, it's just Trevor being a dickhead. Like, I'll just continue watching TV. And then it happened again, so I turned around and went away, and there's nobody there. So it was like, that's...
was it forceful? Like
It was enough. Like, it felt like you like pulled my hair, like lifted it up, and like I had a couple of different, like you could feel something like wasn't right in the room. Like even your animals acted weird. But I think your house on Glen Forest, there was something in the house. I think so.
not attached to us.
No, I think there was something wrong with the house.
I kind of want to go back there and see the people who bought the house from us and just be like, hey, so...
Have you guys had any, like, you know, like, weird stuff? Like what? Oh, you know, like, demonic things happen in the house?
Yeah, so this house, like on Glen Forest, had crosses above each bedroom. Each bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Each bedroom, and in the master...
it was
master bedroom bathroom, there
it
was
upstairs, like in the regular bathroom.
No, I was in the bathroom with
The picture of the angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the upstairs bathroom, because they left it there.
Yeah, it was in the master bedroom bathroom. That's the one. Yes, that was the bathroom that was in.
Alright.
Do you think it was? You can't remember shit.
She's in denial.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was a picture of what?
It was a picture of an angel and said, like, God bless this house, or...
I thought it was like Mother Mary or something like that.
God bless America. No place else.
No place else.
And the creepy thing with that house was that it sat for a year empty. And they said it was like a divorce or something like that, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird that a house in a nice area sat for so long with nobody in it. And everyone just kind of left in a hurry, and they left crosses above the doors and a picture of an angel. In that house, I somewhat consider myself to be sensitive from like things that have happened to me and like things that I've picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And that house,
I'm sensitive too.
Hmm?
I'm sensitive, I think, too.
Yeah, like it was.
Whenever a cat hurts my feelings, I cry.
Yeah.
That's how kind of sensitive I am.
And yeah, like that house. The one of the weird things that happened was, I think I told you when I was sitting in the living room, and
the thing with the light,
yeah,
or the dingly dangly thing.
Yeah, so there's like a chandelier in the living room, and I was sitting there watching TV by myself, and the cat was asleep, and the dog, I think the cat was downstairs or something like that, or the dog was on the couch, and
it's like Glen Forest again.
Yep.
Yeah.
The dog jumped off the couch and sat there and stared at the chandelier. So it was like, all right, whatever. Like, there's a fly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And the cat came from wherever, and the cat just walked over and sat and watched the chandelier. So I'm like, this is creepy. And then I started watching the chandelier, and the chime things, the crystal things, started to move by themselves. And like, there's no windows open, right? Like, I was there by myself. And then what else happened? You had an incident with an orb in the house, didn't you?
Well, I mean, there's this thing that happens when you get like really tired, and then you gotta go. Like, irregular sleep pattern that you see flashes of light.
Yeah.
It's like something to do with just your sleep pattern, right? You get too tired, you start hallucinating, and it might have been like 1 or 2 in the morning, and my setup was on Glen Forest downstairs, so kind of looking straight ahead, and there's a, what would you call, a laundry room, I guess.
Yeah.
And the door was kind of shut. It was creaked open maybe a few inches, probably 4 or 5 inches, enough to see in.
Yep.
And I saw at the corner of my eye, like, a blue light kind of go up like that, and just really quick, and it lit up the entire room kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I was doubting myself, because at the same time I think at the time I was watching some creepy shit.
Yeah.
So I might have just been
self-afflicted, inflicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've had another thing was when your dad and your sister saw what's it called? Like saw like a ghost when they were sitting and watching. Did you ever hear about that one?
Probably. Yeah.
Well, they're sitting and watching TV, and they saw somebody come in the house, like walk through the sliding door into the kitchen, and it was gone. And
Glen Forest again?
Yep. Your dad called your mom thinking that it was her, and there was no answer, so he got up, and Victoria said, "Did you see that?" And your dad said, "Yeah." And they saw a silhouette walk from the door into the kitchen and disappear, like it was not there anymore.
So walked from the sliding glass door.
Yeah.
Where were they standing?
They were sitting on the couch watching TV.
How could they see it from the sliding glass door? It's
because the kitchen was right there. Like they're sitting like on the wall, like looking straight ahead at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the doorway, and you can see the inside of the kitchen there.
Okay, so you can't physically see the sliding glass door, though.
No,
it came from that direction.
It came from that direction.
Okay, all right.
And walked across into the kitchen, and then disappeared. And they had no explanation. Like, your mom wasn't home yet. They thought it was your mom.
Yeah.
And then...
yeah, there'd be no reason for someone entering from the back like that.
Yeah. Even, like, Lindsay...
20 mines in the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah. There's,
dog shit. I'm talking about dog shit.
There's places in Vietnam that are safer. And even like Lindsay had an experience with in the middle of the night. And
Glen Forest again?
Yep, yeah. So, Lindsay, do you want to say this story?
She's headphones on.
Yeah, she's got.
She's in her own little world.
So what happened is your sister was sleeping, and Victoria and one of her friends was over, and well, you saw the inside of Victoria's closet, didn't you? There were like the handprints and footprints all inside the closet. Like, it was really weird.
Like stickers?
No, like actual handprints and footprints that were paint.
Oh, really?
Inside the closet, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And your sister woke up one night and heard banging on the wall. She's like, "Oh, that's weird," and she kind of like ignored it. And then like it was like banging to a point where like your sister thought someone was in trouble in the closet. So she got up and ran into the room, and both of them were out cold. Like, she like tried to call them, like both of them were sleeping. And she said like it sounded like someone was like panicking in the closet.
Really?
Yeah, but both of them were asleep.
And she could tell that it was coming from the closet?
Yeah, because the wall was like the only wall that really connected.
I thought the closet was against where the stairs are, or to the bathroom.
No, like
the closet was on her side of the wall.
Victoria's closet.
Yeah.
It was on the wall connected to Lindsay's.
Okay.
And that's where she heard it. So she thought maybe someone, like, they're screwing around, someone got stuck in the closet, but it was just whatever was in the house.
Well, how do you know they weren't just messing around?
Well, Lindsay said she got up in a hurry because she thought someone was in trouble, and shit, it was just quiet in the room, and everyone was just sleeping.
So they got, they must. There's no way they would have been down and out like that fast. There would have been some.
Yeah, you can tell if little kids are screwing around because like you open the door and they're like panting in bed. Like you can tell if someone's sleeping.
Okay.
And apparently, yeah, like it was really, really weird.
Yeah, I haven't had anything else in the basement. What was wrong with the basement?
Lindsay.
Hey, asshole. Shut up.
He's over there. Yeah, that house definitely had a weird vibe. Being in your new house, though, I haven't felt
No, either have
anything
I.
at all. So I think Glen Forest, there was something in the house that.
It's always something with the new suburban areas, eh? There's always something going on with those.
Yeah, like, it could have been anything. Like if you think, like, there's a church out by my house that has been there since like the early 1800s, and there's a grave, like there's a stone there.
By your place?
Yeah. So you know when like, you drive by, there's the church on the right hand side, like at the corner.
Yep.
Yeah. So that church there, it's been there for like 1810 or 1800 or like very early. And you've probably seen the stone that's on the property.
Yep.
And it says like this monument is here to like represent the pioneers in this area who have passed and that they're buried at this site.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, in let's say 70 years, 80 years, that church is tore down and they don't think anything of it, and people build a house over top of it. That could be what it is. Like there could have been like an old like native site where that house was, where natives buried a body that got attacked or anything like that. And
yeah, I don't know.
it's very weird that
You weren't around for Springbrook, were you?
Springbrook. No, I heard that house had some scary stories though.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Didn't you have a like weird experience there? Where you thought weren't you like running up the stairs and you thought someone was chasing you?
No, yeah, no, you.
Or was it one of those?
You've had those, right? Where you're like going up or downstairs and you had to like hurry your ass up because you feel like something's right behind you.
Yeah. It was like that.
Yeah, it was like that all the time.
Weren't you doing that carrying your TV or something like that?
Oh no, it was in the middle of the day. But even in the middle of the day, I'd still get that feeling. Like, It wasn't a nighttime thing. Like I'd get it most of the time going from the top floor to the ground floor, and then into the basement. Not really.
Yeah.
No, that Bible was always going down from the top floor to the ground floor. It was always just around the corner when you came from the stairs.
Yeah. We definitely have to have my uncle come over and we'll do an episode with him. And we should bring the Bible to see if he feels, because I know he's a lot more sensitive than I am.
Well, I don't want to take it out of its place. You
just open it up, just like all the spirits and stuff come out of it.
No, I tried to. It was in Springwood when I did this. It would have been that's a long time ago.
I swear to God, if you said you used a Ouija board, I'm going to set you on fire right now.
I'm not. I fucking learned about that shit. I'm not touching that. So, no, I took the Bible and kind of went around and asked for anything that. It was during the middle of the day, so I don't know.
No boogeyman could come out and get me.
I was pretty safe. I had a blanket and everything, so if I go under, he can't get me. Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah. I've definitely been in a couple of abandoned spots where I've been in an abandoned house. There was two of them. Was it two of them? No, this one there was only one. And me and a buddy went to go check it out, and we walked in the house, and it was empty. It was weird. It was completely empty. I'm trying to think. I think it was out in is it the West End? No, it would have been the East End maybe. And we went to go check it out, and the house was completely empty. And they got a feeling that there was when someone watches you type of feeling.
Yeah.
It was that, and then went to go check out another property. And we went inside the first house. And as soon as I walked in the house, it was like a wall. That I don't know if it was residual energy that was in the house, but it was definitely, you could just feel that something was there. Once we moved further in the house, though, it was gone. And then when me and you were in Omimi, we went to go check out the old railway back there. There was somebody. I don't know if it was a bunch of spirits in the area. There was somebody lingering around there, because I could really, that one. It didn't feel mean. It just was there.
Yeah, I get really. The only thing I really feel is just the nostalgic kind of old eerie feeling.
Yeah.
Kind of like when we took the train out west and we went into the that train museum.
Yeah.
I could definitely feel a lot of eerie.
That would have been a residual energy hanging off the.
Yeah, I felt a lot of attachments, and I think that's what I feel a lot. Like when I go to a lot of like museums or something like that.
Yeah.
Like even the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like when I went there, it just felt really eerie to be there, and to even go down to the old clock tower down there. When I did a wedding there once, I went into the upper portion part of the building and to set up. And you ever been in there, the theater part?
No.
There was like a theater there, and people were having a reception. And so I was starting to set up there, and not too much, but it was enough just to notice it.
Yeah.
So not too much going on there.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about it for that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have my uncle come in, and he's got some pretty crazy stories he can tell us. And
it's your dad's brother?
my mom's sister's husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely got some stories where you have to wonder, is the paranormal like real, or is it something we imagine?
Paranormal refers to something that's not understood by current scientific knowledge. There's the potential that something paranormal will someday be explained scientifically, and there's a likelihood that there's a good natural explanation for it.
Yeah.
Supernatural refers to the phenomenon. Can you pronounce that for me, John?
Phenomenon?
Yeah, there you go. That is beyond our capability and understand. Now and simply forever. Yeah, so yeah, that's... Supernatural would be kind of like UFOs and shit.
Yeah.
And paranormal would be ghosts.
Yeah.
And kind of like... No, supernatural would be like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster kind of thing, and then paranormal would be...
So anything like biological, like, be like physically there.
That is beyond our capability to understand, and now and simply forever.
Okay.
Because it just doesn't operate under our rules. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. If you guys have any stories or anything like that, or any input on the whole Trudeau thing, let us know. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. We're working on right now having a Twitch account too, so you can kind of watch us play games and stuff like that. And it's Peter Patch Twitch. And if you look it up now, there's just like a bunch of test videos and stuff like that. But definitely go check it out. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, we're trying to upgrade PCs here to get stuff going, and
yeah. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, like us on Facebook. And we try to do this like every Thursday and Friday. And if you have any topics you want us to talk about or anything like that, just leave a comment or post on Facebook, whatever, and we'll definitely talk about it. Anything else, Trevor?
nope, I have nothing to say.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for watching or listening or whatever you're doing to this video right now. And we hope you have a great long weekend if you're in Canada. Thank you all for watching.